CyberCon is our annual kind of get-together of students and the local community, where our main goal is to connect those students into that larger community, and they may learn something and they may not, but the focus is on making sure they are part of our local cybersecurity community and are beginning to build talent that brings them into that pipeline.
Well, I normally lead off day one by saying cybersecurity is everywhere. You'd be really hard-pressed to go through a day in your natural life without touching something that isn't governed by cybersecurity. So even if you leave this camp thinking, this isn't for me, I would not want to sit behind a computer and do this, you still leave the camp understanding how you're impacted by cybersecurity, how to be safe in the real world, interacting with all these bits of technology that are kind of surrounded by this cat and mouse game of attackers and people working to ward off said attackers.
Here, the classes look like way different from my schools. People are really passionate, they know a lot, and they're willing to share. So, and that being said, that makes me want to share my stuff as well and not feel like, oh, I shouldn't share anything or anything like that. It makes me feel more open with other people, like, oh, I can share, I feel safe in this environment. Because after all, we are a community.
I think I have a bit of an advantage to the fact that I'm more of a child at heart, so I can take a lot of these more complex topics and introduce it in a way that's more funny and easy to get engaged with as a middle schooler. It does get a little dry sometimes, as cybersecurity tends to. That's just the technical aspect, but when you introduce things like Kahoot, Gimkit, and Bookit to kind of pace everything out, it makes it a lot more easy.
Very particularly, it's about finding members of our local community here in the Tampa Bay area. So today we have Stacy O'Neill, who's a GRC and policy specialist. We have Angela Ramos from University of Tampa, who's an amazing red teamer with huge connections out into the broader industry. We have, I can't remember if I mentioned Citibank already, with Emily Ween and her team, who are going to be giving a presentation. But the thing to know about CyberCamp, especially as it relates to those volunteers and that relationship between those volunteers and the campers themselves, is very much about this. It's about trying to engineer experiences that allow those volunteers to have meaningful conversations and connections with those students. And everything else we do is just the tools and the techniques and the toys and the presentations to get kids to talk to some of those people.
So I expected this camp to be kind of what we have done in the past, where we just come, take some classes, learn some things. I was kind of expecting to know most of the stuff we were already learning, but I got here and it's just so much better than I imagined. There's so many cool classes and so many cool people. A lot of the people that they brought in really enjoy cybersecurity. You can just tell by the way that they talk about it. They are just really passionate and really knowledgeable about everything regarding their chosen field in cybersecurity. And so really the only step that you gotta take is just talking to them so you can get that really good one-on-one information.
And you came to this camp last year, right? So what made you decide to come back this year? Was it your parents, or did you actually want to come on back this year?
It was a mixture of both. I just said that maybe it would be fun to come back here again and just enhance what I've been learning, because over the summer I've kind of forgotten some.
Can you see yourself doing this like as a career one day?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it would definitely help a lot, especially if I could help with my family too, and not just like other companies. Just helping them like understand how to get their devices secure and lower the chances of them getting hacked.
I attended CyberCamp for 2 years as a camper. My mom signed me up for the first year just because she knows I'm into like tech and stuff, and I ended up loving it. I came back for a second year, and then from there, like, Fisk reached out to me. He said, "We want you on the team." I've never really seen like a space like this where it's like all about the community. I feel like that's just very unique to like this like CyberCamp. I'm not really doing it for like a professional reason. Like I just enjoy like being here. I enjoy seeing like everyone's like passion for cybersecurity, or like even if they don't really know they have a passion yet, I like to see them like curious about like these challenges or these different topics, and I can point them in like the right direction. I can say, hey, you should check this out. And like I love watching them like dive deep into these topics, and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool.
So in a camp like this, we tend to do some learning how to crack codes, and the students are learning about different terminology like phishing and how to find things that are that happen in emails, where sometimes they can get, you know, a scam in an email. So they're kind of hunting and searching for those codes that could happen in real life.
Kids in elementary school are super fun and excited. They come in every day wanting to know what is happening next in the storyline. They are always eager and excited to learn something brand new. They are willing to challenge themselves even if it is frustrating, and they just bring a new sense of fun to every day.
I think it's so amazing to have students do things like this, especially with computers and cybersecurity, because in today's world, our kids are on devices all the time. And so just to teach them that there are things out there to be aware of, and having them just have that just general knowledge of what things to look for, is an incredible opportunity.
This camp, if I had the opportunity to do it as a kid, would have opened my mind up to the idea of a position in tech or in cybersecurity, just because my background has always been, I worked at the Y and I worked with kids, but if I had been exposed to this and understand how attainable it is if you put your mind to it, I think it would have opened my mind to maybe some other ideas of what I could possibly do in a job in the future.
Everyone has something to learn from a camp like this. Even if you walk away thinking this isn't for me, that was really difficult, you now know where your skills may or may not lie. You understand a little bit more about the world. And I think as we kind of hurtle towards like an absolute point of just technology consuming everyday aspects of our lives, with AI becoming more and more prominent, being able to keep yourself secure in the real world is probably one of the biggest skills you could possibly have.
It was really cool. I was just at, a couple weeks ago, I was at B-Sides Tampa, which was also here at USF, and this guy walks up to me, like polo shirt, full beard, and he looked very familiar, and I couldn't exactly place him. And he goes, hey, Dr. Fisk, do you remember me? I was at your cyber camp in 2018, and now I have a career in cybersecurity because of what I did at your camp, right? And those students are out there now and today, and they are starting to come back to the camp and back to USF. So yeah, that's the kind of place that this is, and the kind of community that we're really trying to build. It's about those real connections first and foremost.